them more and more, then it would help the environment, and it would... Hell, where can you go and get 20 kilos of free prawns?
Yeah.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Good evening, everyone. A tsunami is now headed towards Hawaii. The population has been evacuated following the mayor's alert. If you're just turning your TV on, we have been on a special edition since this morning. A few hours ago, a 7.7 earthquake hit the Queen Charlotte Islands off the west coast of Canada. Any serious consequences have been reported to the Canadian coast at this time, but the phenomenon could have a real impact in the state of Hawaii. Hawaiian authorities have issued an evacuation order. All harmless waves already hit the Hawaiian coast, but high ones are expected. They could cause real damage. Local authorities are doing everything in their power to keep people safe, and beaches will remain closed until a new order from the mayor. Live from Hawaii, the chief of the fireman squad is now going to give us more information about the evacuation of the population and possible losses. Good evening, Mr. Stitch. What are the issues you encountered during the evacuation of the population?
Well, we encountered the traditional problem for this kind of situation. Several old people wouldn't leave their home, but we had amazing people on the field who were able to get them back to their senses.
Are there any reports of casualties yet?
No, not yet, but some people have already been reported missing. I think they just ran away because they were worried of the situation. It's just a big confusion due to the current panic.
You seem pretty confident about the safety in Hawaii. Do you think that the mayor's alert was premature?
No, the experts were unanimous about the risk that the wave could reach our coast. As they say, better safe than sorry.
And when the situation will be back to normal?
We are expecting the third and biggest wave to come in a few minutes. We can be sure there won't be any other wave, but their magnitude will be less important.
Thank you, Mr. Stitch, for this intervention, and good luck for dealing with this situation in the next hours. God bless you. This morning, 8 thieves arrived in 2 different cars on the tarmac of Zaventem's National Airport. They were armed with heavy weapons. They avoided all the security system. Fortunately, nobody was injured during the assault. They introduced themselves in the aircraft hold to take 120 diamonds packages before running away. The attack lasted 5 minutes. Authorities suspect that there is an accomplice in the airport because it was especially easy for the burglars to penetrate on the tarmac. The robbery didn't disrupt the airport activities or the air traffic. An investigation is in progress and local authorities are on the ball. Our correspondent Thibaut Drouot is on the field, is with the spokesman of Zaventem's National Airport, Mr. Jonathan Arden.
Good evening, Laura. I'm with Jonathan Arden, spokesman of the airport. So, Mr. Arden, what is the value of the stolen diamonds?
What we know at this time is that 120 packages were stolen. We don't have any information about the value or what was inside the bags yet. What we do know is that it was mainly diamonds, but there's nothing more I can tell you now.
Among the entire staff of the airport, who do you think was most likely to help the thieves to get inside the airport with weapons?
First of all, Brussels Airport strongly denies that any member of the staff helped the thieves. Second of all, we strictly follow the rules by the EASA, so that's the European Aviation Safety Agency. Of course, I cannot tell you about those rules, but they are very clear and we strictly follow them. Then we also help the police with the investigation, and we are pursuing an investigation of our own. If there's anything that can be done to improve the security of the airport, I can assure you that it will be done.
It is the first robbery in 10 years at Zaventem's airport. Don't you think your security system should be revised? If yes, who is responsible for that?
As I said earlier, there's international rules made by the EASA, the European Aviation Safety Agency. I'm sure if the agency considers that the rules must be changed, they will act as quickly as possible. In the meantime, if our investigation exposes any problems, we will do everything we can to solve them. Security is obviously our first priority.
Thank you, Mr. Arden, to giving us a few minutes of your precious time.
Thank you, Mr. Arden, for giving us a few minutes of your precious times. Thank you, Thibaut. 2013 marks the 10th anniversary of the service voucher system in Belgium. With almost 1 million users, the system is a huge success. Introduced in 2004, the service voucher system was created by the state to fight undeclared work. The idea was to allow people to require help for the housework while paying less than 10 euros an hour. It has been a huge success since its launch. The year of their introduction, 700,000 service vouchers were sold. This number was 10 times higher the next year. As time went by, the numbers kept going up. In 2012, no less than 123 million service vouchers were sold. The success seems undeniable, but 2013 also marks the first time that the price of the service vouchers has increased. Will it have any consequences on the success of the system? Reporters asked people what they thought about the system and its price. Here is their answers.
Are you a user of the service voucher system?
No,
Why not?
because I don't have enough money to waste it on that. I can do my whole work myself and I don't need any help.
Under what circumstances would you use this system?
Maybe if it was cheaper, but I'm really not comfortable with someone coming into my home or cleaning my stuff. So I guess nothing could make me want to use it.
Are you a user of the service voucher system?
Yes.
Since when?
I started years ago, 2006 or 2007. I can't remember precisely.
The price has increased in January. What did it change in your use of the system?
Actually, I decided, my wife and I decided that we would stop using the service voucher system. She just lost her job, so we are a little short on money and we can't afford it anymore. The fact that the price has increased just confirmed our decision.
Okay. Are you a user of the service voucher system?
Yes, I am.
Since when?
I think it's been 2 years.
The price has increased in January. What did it change in your use of the system?
I actually anticipated it as I bought as many as I could before the price went up. So I kind of have a stock right now. But of course they won't be valid forever, so I couldn't get as much as I wanted. But I think I'm too used to the system to let it go now. So plus the increase was not that much, so it didn't change anything for me.
Thank you. Next week, the Red Devils are going to play a very important game on the road to the FIFA World Cup. They're playing against Zimbabwe, a very tough challenger. If they win, they're assured to go in Brazil in 2014. To talk about this crucial game, we're pleased to welcome here tonight Mr. Vincent Company, captain of the national team. Mr. Company, good evening and welcome.
Hello, thank you.
So, how do you feel 1 week away from the big game?
Well, I feel very confident, but there's a lot of pressure on our shoulders. It's been a long time since the Red Devils played such an important game. And we have the occasion to make history, so we are a little stressed out.
Yeah, and about that, the Red Devils haven't been in a World Cup since 2002. We've come a long way since then. What's changed in 10 years?
Well, after 2002, a lot of players stopped their career, and so did the coach. So we had to rebuild a whole new team, and that's not something that can be done with the snap of the fingers. So we had to rebuild a whole new team spirit. We had to learn again to play as a team. And today a lot of the players are young and they play abroad for more important championships, so they have more experience, I think.
And you have more and more supporters. How do you feel about that?
The public is very, very important for us. They're simply wonderful and they're the reason we're so strong. Actually, we really feel supported by Belgians, and we want to make them proud of their team and proud of their country.
Yeah, the country has never been more divided between the two communities. what role do you think the national football team has to play in the matter?
Well, in the stadium, I think everyone is Belgium. They all sing together, and there's no difference between Flemish and Walloons. So I'd really like 2014 to be the new 1986, where the supporters were all together, united under the same flag. On the field, I really see no differences between Flemish and Walloons players. We're all the same, and we don't really care about that.
Yeah. And how does Mark Wilmots, your coach, help to build the team spirit?
Well, he was there in 2002, and he knows national team's word really well. He speaks fluently Dutch, Flemish, and French, of course. So, in my opinion, I think he really incarnates Belgium on his own.
Yeah, you're like a new version of him.
No. Thanks for the compliment, though, but I don't think I can fill his shoes. But I admit I also have to be a role model for the supporters as the captain of the team, and I wish I could have his career in the national team.
Yeah, and you were injured recently for 6 weeks, and what's like to watch your team from the bench?
Well, it was hard to play to stay on the bench and see the other players on the field, but I was there to support them, and I was glad they won the games. I think it's the most important, they won, no matter which players played.
Yeah, and last question. What do you think about the Zimbabwe's team?
Well, from what I've seen, they play different football than us. They're more aggressive, I think, but if they are here, I think they play very well, so we must not underestimate them.
Well, we wish you all the best for the future and good luck for the game.
Thanks.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you. So this interview concludes this special edition of our news bulletin. I'll see you tomorrow for a new journal. Goodbye.